On the other side, we're going to be hopping on to our next conversation, and let's talk now after AI ethics. We move to our next one being in AI in ARC tech solutions for streamlined operations. Now, this is going to be interesting as we have all of them representing that community, and let's call them on stage one by one. First off, we'd like to call upon Devang Doshi, who's a partner at KKC and Associates LLP, a chartered accountants firm based in Mumbai. He's somebody who's got over 15 plus years of experience in auditing, financial reporting, advisory, and assurance services. KKC and Associates LLP formerly was known as Kimji Kunweri Ji and Co. LLP, a well-established CA firm since 1936. Devang is currently, of course, a partner at the same, so let's give him a warm round of applause as we welcome him. We'll also like to invite Ashish Doshi, who is the co-founder of Collect AI, a tech entrepreneur, and Collect AI is an AI native collections platform aimed at solving bad debt collections for lenders. Collect uses a compound AI platform with agentic approach to help lenders rapidly benefit by improving the efficiency and outcomes of debt collection processes through automation, real-time tracking, and data analytics. Thank you so much, Ashish, for joining us on the same. We'd also like to formally welcome on stage, ladies and gentlemen, Anji Nayak, Head IT, CFM ARC. Professionally, prominently associated with information technology roles, particularly as the head of IT with expertise in cybersecurity, project management, solution architecture. Worked with Reliance Asset Reconstruction Company Limited in the past, and of course, he's also the Vice President of Information Technology at the CFM Asset Reconstruction Private Limited, another ARC-related entity. Thank you so much for joining in as well, Anji. And we'd now like to call upon our moderator of this conversation. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for the CEO of ARC Association, Harihara Mishra. Let's give him a warm round of applause. Being the CEO of the Association of Asset Reconstruction Companies in India, having assumed his office in April 2023, the association is a sole representative body for the ARCs operating in India, which are the financial institutions specializing in the acquisition and resolution of non-profit assets. The Association of ARCs in India, under his leadership, worked closely with regulatory bodies like the RBI and represents the interest of its 28 registered member ARCs who played an essential role in resolving stress assets and supporting the economic growth in our country. Mr. Mishra, always a pleasure having you on board, and we'd request your expertise to take forward with this conversation.
Thank you. At the outset, I express my deep gratitude to Dr. Narendra for including a session of AI in ARC. Initially, it was with other financial sector regulated entities like banks, like insurance, but at my request, he added one session on ARCs. Those who do not know about ARCs, just a quick word, ARCs acquire bad debts and resolve them. It's like they are bad debt aggregators. And with ARCs moving towards retail, the client base of ARCs has gone up substantially. It will be touching somewhere around 10 million as of now and growing. So in that context, with the more acquisition of retail, the role of AI is very important, and it has got critical importance after this free AI, this AI report on by RBI was released. And now they have given a roadmap with 7 sutras, and obviously all the regulated entities, whether that's bank, NBFC, HFCs or ARCs, would have to move in those directions. So with this, now I would come to the different functionalities where AI would play a critical role in coming days. To start with, let me start with Mr. Devang. He is a member of AI committee of WIRC, Western India Regional Council of CA Institute. So I would request him to give a overview of how AI can enhance the capabilities of ARC, both in terms of customer focus and operational efficiency.
Well, thank you, sir. Thank you, Dr. Narendra, for this invite. Now, for an ARC, there are three phases. There is acquisition phase, there is a monitoring phase, and there is a resolution phase. AI, as for the industry, is a blessing because when you see the data that is collected by the asset reconstruction companies, it's huge. And as a company, you have very limited time to assess those data. Now you have data from banks, from borrowers, from legal cases, from a lot of public domain, a lot of other sources are there, and this is very difficult to verify those sources. Now AI actually helps in structuring those data. So when you acquire something like a bad debt, as sir explained, it's very difficult to rely on some borrowers because his story could be different. Now when you have information and when you can collate this information, AI can actually help you structure those information well. You can use NotebookLM, you can use a lot of Copilot notebooks, a lot of other AI tools where you can collate information, structure it, and ask questions to get those information which is required. Second phase of ARC is to monitor this. Now what happens, even for banks, for NBFCs, we miss on the early warning signals as to what or how the borrower will behave going forward. And we actually don't know or we don't understand because of the limitations of human nature we have that we are not able to assess the early warning signals. And for proactive monitoring of this, AI it's amazing. You can have deep research to understand a borrower, to understand his credit profile, credit worthiness, and you can move ahead. And absolutely when it comes to resolution, you can have a lot of simulated strategies in place. You can have probability mechanism in place to recover those assets. So AI for ARC industry is a boon, and I think it will continue to do that for the ARC industry, provided we approach it in a structured way. That's all.
Thank you, Devan. Moving on, I would like to request Anji, what are the practical challenges when you go for AI implementation or using AI tools, given the legacy structures at different originating banks, NBFCs, HFCs? So what are the challenges and what sort of readiness are we required to do before we can really move into the top gear?
Yes, that's a great question. Thank you so much, sir. So before implementing an AI, like since yesterday you have been listening a lot of things about AI, and before this session we heard that data is a key thing, right? So then only rightly mentioned, I am not recollecting the sir's name, but he rightly mentioned whenever you give the clean data, it will give you the clean results, okay? Now when it comes to ARC, right? So ARC as an industry, we get the data from various legacy sources, right? If you see loan management system, core banking systems, and the DRT filings and borrower contact trials and valuation reports, there are a lot of legacy sources are there which are been into a traditional model which were documented. Somewhere would be a handwritten documents, somewhere would be a scanned document which is not means OCR enabled kind of a thing, which is very difficult, not on 95% accuracy I can say, right? Even though if we implement accuracy, we get only 75 at all, right? But 25 we can't ignore, but still we need to have some expertise to go through that because it's a critical document, right? If 10 is missing, if that AI can't capture, then there will be a huge impact. Then if we process for the resolution, then if we get the collection done, then there will be a huge impact, right? And once you issue NDC or NOC to the borrower and later on you come to know there is 10 is missing and it is totally go chaos, right? So when it comes to ARC, what I believe, I have been into this ARC industry on the core tech department for the last 7 years. So ARC needs to work on data foundation and the governance part, right? When I talk about the data foundation, it's about data digitization. When I talk about this loan documents, when I talk about this valuation reports, maybe earlier any of the reports or any of the documents, all those documents needs to be digitized. And second thing is the cleaning of the borrower data. So what I experienced in my during this tenure. So one borrower is having one loan account number with the multiple KYC details, and assigner is having another PAN card number, and where CIBIL is maintaining the different PAN card number of the data. When we scrutinize the data from the CIBIL, we are getting the different types of results, right? So what I feel is we need to clean up the data first. We need to have strong this governance body where we can have the data structured well manner. Then only we can put it into our LMS system and the CRM dialer system and the legal module system as well. So whenever we search any kind of a borrower data, we should get the same results. Then we can implement an AI role when it comes to as an acquisition. In acquisition, whenever we are bidding, so we get the initial data from them. So it is very important for ARCs to do the due diligence as well as to work on various aspects, whether that bid can be valuable or not, whether we can achieve that targets and all, right? So from business perspective, it is IT will play very key role if we enable machine learning and AI, if we both club together. So since like there are 25 ARCs in our country, so and we do have a lot of collections experience. We might have collected in a month's time, we might have collected in a year's time. So based on that experience, if you apply that same thing into other portfolios which you are bidding into, then you will able to come to the picture whether it can be bidded or not, whether it would be a financial benefit or not, right? So those things. So like rightly said, AI, when we are talk about AI, since morning you might have heard the AI, everybody talks about the data. AI is saying loudly, if you can hear us, right? If you can hear that AI is saying loudly, give me clean data, I'll give you the clean results, right? So then only we will able to achieve in our ARC industry, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Anji. As was being discussed in the previous panel, predicting behavior, be it of anything, be it of movement of dollar, be it of anything, is a difficult job. And when you predict the behavior of a particular segment of people, lakhs of people in a few days' time, whether they would repay, what is the repayment pattern likely to be, what is its NPV, the whole ARC starts with valuation, and valuation is a function of the predictive behavior of those who are repaying the loans. Then my question to Ashish is, how do you address the challenges and with such limited time with data limitations, how do you arrive at a number which is acceptable to the seller as well as the buyer?
Thank you, Dr. Narendra. Thank you, Hariji, for having us here. Very pertinent question here, especially in terms of prediction and in terms of actual use of AI. As Angie rightly said, if you feed in clean data, it gives you the clean answer. In any AI modeling, and because we do this day in and day out, predictivity is very important, and based on reinforcement learning models, you can predict when can you collect, how much can you collect, and at what cost. We've done that in our business where based on millions of data points that we've in terms of repayment data or delinquent data or DPDs or behavioral patterns or legacy data that we get, we've created a cohort-based, including at individual levels, which can help predicting a value of a portfolio. And once you can assess, and this happens almost in real time, very fast, not in days, in minutes actually. And when you apply a filter of connectivity on that, it becomes so accurate that it comes to almost 70-75% accuracy, and it's a proven model for us which has worked. And this is where ARCs can get help to predict the right price for that portfolio they are acquiring. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashish. After the acquisition, it now comes to resolution of the ARC. And now I would like to hear from Devang, how does AI help the decision-making system, portfolio management, post-acquisition, so that there is efficient use of the resources at the ARC?
I think those from ARC industry would actually know that before acquiring any bad debt or any NPA, you get very limited time to do due diligence. You have 2 weeks to 3 weeks to actually understand the asset. Now, when you have so much of a limited time and so much of data to analyze, that this assessing of this particular asset or assessing of this particular borrower will actually happen a lot faster through AI rather than a human or couple of humans doing that. Obviously, I'm not taking out the judgment experience of human out of this, but we have to understand that AI can actually do a lot of things as a smart intern than not employing AI at all. So we can do, I understand there's a lot of privacy concern which we'll come to later, but AI can help you in doing faster due diligence. Second thing, the most important thing that AI has brought in ARC industry is to assess the risk. Now, risk right now for any industry is assessed like never before. Be it banking, be it NBFC, be it ARC, the psychology of a borrower can even be gauged now by AI. By listening to conversation, by listening to how it is delivered, AI can actually understand the psychology of the borrower. So apart from macroeconomic indicators being assessed by AI, apart from a lot of things, even psychology now is assessed by AI. So when you have so much of understanding, so much of data, and so much of, so much of information in your hand, that decision-making process becomes a lot easier. And now you also have explainable AI, wherein whatever decision that you have taken can also be documented by that AI. So this decision-making process has been a lot easier. And again, those who are in ARC industry, there is a lot of returns that needs to be filed with regulators with respect to portfolios that you manage. Now, portfolio segmentation can be done amazingly in AI. So using of AI at the start, at least at the beginning, you can start using AI in your industry and then automate process, and then you can see the return of investment that you get on using this AI for your operations. That's it. Thank you.
Thanks, Devang. Moving on to Anji, how does AI in real life help improve the operational efficiency and improve the output productivity at ARCs?
Yeah, definitely. So it's an interesting question. I think you might have already got answers since you are already going through a lot of AI session. How AI will create efficiency and productivity, right? So when it comes to ARC, we acquire portfolio, we do the collections, and we do the resolutions, right? Then we closure. So collecting EMI-based, regular EMIs, it is very easy. You can just simply enable a chatbot or enable a voice bot. It can directly set reminders, and based on that, it can be called on a scheduled manner, so that collection can happen. But when it comes to NPA is not a EMI-based kind of a thing. We need to have settlement processes. We need to have resolution. Maybe you need to go through legal filings and all with the DRT, with the SARFAESI, right? So there are a lot of involvement is there to do the resolution process. So when it comes to how this AI will help, so first I said the data, cleaning the data itself is a big chunk, right? So whenever we see the borrower data, if you're having 10 lakhs customers data, how do you validate? Because what we can do is we can just set some of the parameters. What kind of data needs to be fetched out? So that support, if you need to fetch out KYC details out of the 650 pages in that particular document, we can just simply scan through the OCR and we can fetch those data. So while enabling the AI, we need to have that data set ready, the data foundation. So based on the AI capabilities, we can just set some of the data pointers and we can fetch those data from various documents, and we can have set of data. So when it comes to borrower communication, now there are a lot of AI agents and a lot of voice agents and a lot of, we were just discussing before this event with Ashish, there were sentiment AI. Like whenever we discussing about the borrower, we will not able to come to know whether it is a borrower intention, whether he is able to pay or not. But with using with the sentimental AI, so we will able to come to know whether what is the intention of the borrower, whether he is going to make a payment or not. So that's how we can enable into our contact centers, right, for having the productivity and efficiency as well. So we can implement this AI bots and all at the contact centers. So that would be easy for resolution process.
Thank you, Anji. Moving on to Ashish. Look, the whole free AI, of course, let me clarify, this free AI is not free actually. I mean, I'm sure everybody understands that because you are coming to the end of 2 days program. This is a responsible framework for responsible ethical enablement of AI. So now coming back to free AI, whose foundation is customer focus, question to you, Ashish, is how do you reach customers in a more efficient way, get their complaint redressed, get their repayments and settlements done by use of AI so that it improves the customer at the end? Because the whole free AI framework is based on customer centricity.
I will answer this question by continuing what NG said. So, first and foremost, everybody uses contact centers, right? And efficiency, what AI brings efficiency there is, for example, when a caller is speaking to a borrower, especially somebody whose loan has turned NPA, his focus is to, or his KRA is to finish, say, probably 100 calls in a day. The borrower may have problems which he wants to discuss, but the caller's intent is to go on to the next call. So he's in a hurry, and it's human nature, presume that this guy is not going to pay. So he's slightly angry also. So which is where the journey breaks, because the customer is saying, I have a problem, borrower says, I don't care, you get the money, and he simply puts a disposition, borrower not willing to pay. Where AI comes into the picture is where the AI can listen to these calls in real time, transcribe it, translate it if possible, because we have multiple languages, create the right disposition, and create the sentiment, learn from the sentiment and feed into the system to say what will be the next step. To go on to your question from there, and this brings in a lot of efficiency, because we've seen in our own case, the caller's efficiency is improved by almost 25-30%. Going back to your question, where you bring in empathy into the system, where every communication that goes out to a customer can be a very mature, can be a very empathic communication in a contextual way, where a message or a WhatsApp or a bot or a voice bot can lead to the borrower realizing that he needs to pay, and he pays. AI can also result in lot of negotiations. It can bring in a lot of negotiation skills. We've seen that all as well, where if there is a settlement matrix present, again in a contact center, the second thing that a caller will say, you have 100% off in your penalty fees. Whereas he has that limited time. Whereas the voice bot or a chat bot has no limitation on time. It can keep chatting or talking to the borrower till the time borrower reaches a point where he is willing to pay. So it can actually negotiate. If the ARC has decided we will give him 100%, and we've seen this where the bot can negotiate at 50, 60, 70%, and the customer feels happy because there is no ya to ye lijiye, ya to I am moving on, or there'll be a legal threat. Here we have seen that in fact in cases where NPA is there, honestly legal threats don't work, especially in the retail side of the loans which are now going to come to ARCs in a very big number. There legal threats don't work. Where the borrowing is 50,000, 1 lakh rupee, the ARCs will not have the cost benefit to go legal after him, which is where these tools will really help them.
I have a question. आपको ARS में you have to get the loan from the bank. So bank gives a reserve price. Then how do we arrive at the intrinsic value, and how do you arrive at the fair value, and how you make the bidding offer? So can the AI help you in that? And similarly, abhi aap bataya, where you have to have a settlement process with the data given and all that, with the potential value vis-a-vis current value, and how do you through AI arrive at a decision support, and how do you at the board level justify the price what you are able to settle. ये सब issues very important in AI, your ARC. Please give the answer. Yeah, आप ले दो कोई.
Before that, just I just 1 minute, Dr. Narendra. In fact, there is a distinction between valuation of an asset backed by underlying security and which doesn't have security, unsecured one. What AI is addressing most is the unsecured part, the behavior pattern. And now I'll hand over to Devang. How does this
That is the key part of your getting the assets. वो आपको उधर success नहीं हो गया, आपको मिलेगा नहीं. Please.
because prediction is the most important. How do you predict the behavior pattern?
So I'll just practically answer this. So there is something called as deep research, you might be aware. Now, for any borrower or for any asset, what information we get from the bank is one information that we do on DD.
Yes.
But all other information is available on public domain. Now, this information, collation of this information becomes really easier when you do deep research or when you actually toggle on that deep research concept. When you have deep research, it takes into account thousands of websites and then gives you the information. And this practically gives you a historical background of the creditworthiness of that borrower. And this actually is helpful because when you discuss this with the borrowers, even he might not be aware as to what is on the social media for him.
Yes.
Grok, if you see Grok actually takes into social media account of what he has written in the past. Basis on that also an assessment can be made. So this is a...
We covered it, that is outside the behavior of the information.
Right.
Multiple sources you can arrive at that particular ranking of that guy.
Right. So this deep research, what I have seen or what I have actually used, that it actually helps to understand the borrower, understand the mentality and accordingly deal with the borrowers. You can have 3 go, no-go factors. You can do a lot of things and then assess it. Not necessarily it's always right.
Thank you. We have less than 2 minutes and 1.5 minutes left. We have had technology from Ekar ARC present here, Mr. K.C. Anand.
Kabir Roy, you want a question?
Can you just share?
Mic there.
Can you pass out the mic to K.C. Anand, head technology of Ekar actually?
We have hardly
1 minute.
Very,
Okay,
very
yes.
direct question.
There are 25 ARCs in India, right? Why don't you all share and create the common database? So there's one LLM, I would call it SLM, small language model, which is specific to ARC. And then you have clean data there, and then you all have interoperable data, and you're reading off the same database, and dedupe it and all that. Why don't you create that instead of each organization?
So
having
they'll
their
have to
own
create a RAG there.
Yeah, but this is a great application that within ARC create a common database, just like Sybil is common database.
They'll have to create a RAG for that, and it's very easily possible if they come
We should do that, otherwise
together to do that. It will be not only beneficial to them as ARCs, but as overall it will bring in lot of efficiencies.
In the RBI report also, the industry bodies have been asked to standardize different processes, and as a ARC association will definitely try to do that. But let the mic be passed on to Mr. Anand before we close it. I think we have only few seconds. Not question, he's head IT, so he wants to share something.
Hi.
You can share.
Hello everyone. So instead of asking question, I would say some challenges or a scope where we can enable AI basically, or use the AI facilities basically. So of course ARC is lagging behind for AI technology. So since acquisition process, already you talked a lot of things, since acquisition to resolution and close the account. So one is the acquisition process, of course, evaluating the data, bank data, and data is the very critical here. And we, because we are dealing with the NPA accounts, non-performing assets. So most challenge is not intent to pay, the borrower who is the not intent to pay. So how to make intent to pay, that is the one using the AI technology. Because after getting all the data, even though he is not intent to pay, where I can say HI will be, human intelligence will be interacting there, useful there. And second is data. data is the, again, very king here. I mean, based on the data only, we can resolve the case. So again, data is a challenge for us. These are the legacy data because we are dealing with NPA accounts. So legacy data in sense, not updated data. Borrower is not contactable. We have to update the data, and where AI can be enabled to collect the data. Like you said, a lot of data sources available in the globe. I just collect the data and try to update the data, and we can try to resolve the case. Or that is the
Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you very
And
much.
I thank you again for having given this opportunity to have a session on ARC. Thank you very much.
So,
Thank you.
Next time.
We'll do that.
so
Not
before
after
we
day,
close,
only
I would
full day.
like to say only one thing. Only one thing. I'll not take much more time, sir. Thank you so much for allowing me. So, because there are a lot of students are there, I used to give such session motivation to our students. So, I would like to address them first, and it would be definitely helpful for them. So, we are living in digital era, and it is evolving like anything. And there is one motivation quote which always motivates me personally, and I would like to present to you. So, it is like, my goodness.
It's absolutely fine,
See,
ladies and gentlemen.
जिंदगी so yeah, I got it. जिंदगी की असली उड़ान अभी बाकी है, जिंदगी की कई इम्तिहान अभी बाकी है, अभी तो थामी है मुट्ठी भर जमीन हमने, अभी तो सारा आसमान बाकी है. So this guy, this is just a beginning for you. So keep moving, keep learning, and keep forwarding. Thank you so much.
Mr. Roy, please do us the honors. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, I'd also like to call upon Dr. Lakshmi Mohan as well, Pro Vice Chancellor of ITM Skills University, to please give away the token of appreciation. Mr. Roy has been a brilliant speaker today for us at the AI Conclave. And of course, Dr. Lakshmi is going to be our speaker in the next one. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, we are having the conclusion of yet another great panel discussion right here at the AI Conclave. Mr. Roy, you cannot escape us for the group photograph, so we request you to step in, of course, for the group photograph. So can I please request all our panelists to step forward if you can, so that we can all be in one frame. Of course, some great knowledge and some excellent suggestion by Mr. Roy for all the ARCs present in the Indian subcontinent of how they can collaborate as well. Thank you so much. And ladies and gentlemen, on the other side, let's get set for the final session at the AI Conclave 2025. Well, it always starts with education, right? Educating one another. So we thought the finale topic should be focused on that. So let's talk about AI in education, growth and transformation. So that's one final leg we wish to cover as a conclusion of the conclave, and thereby post that, let me remind you that we have the wonderful Excellence Awards waiting on the other side. So starting with our first person we'd like to call upon, let's give it up to the Pro Vice Chancellor of ITM Skills University, Dr. Lakshmi Mohan, who's right here. She's somebody who also serves as a director of the ITM Business School in Kharghar, Navi Mumbai. She has more than 25 years of experience in teaching, training, institutional leadership. Somebody who has led academic excellence and, of course, institutional growth at ITM Skills University. An absolute pleasure, Dr. Mohan, having you on board. We now move ahead into inviting our next speaker. Let's give it up for Arunima Singh, CGO, Voices of Victory. Well, she's known for exploring the intersection of digital strategy and human purpose with involvement in impactful campaigns under the Voices of Victory. Voices for Victory appears to be focused on meaningful campaigns leveraging digital strategies to create the social impact. This highlights her role and association with Voices of Victory, emphasizing her leadership in digital strategic initiatives within the organization. We'd also now like to call upon our next speaker, Anurag Khare, who's currently serving as the General Manager of Corporate Marketing and Head of Digital Marketing at ION Exchange India Limited. He's somebody who has over 20 years of experience in the digital transformation efforts, focusing on the customer experience role with generative AI to enhance the customer engagement and revenue growth. He has received various awards for his leadership in CX and digital marketing. Thank you so much for joining us. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, indeed for our moderator, it's truly an honor that we have the ex-director of the School of Management at Padma Shri Dr. D.Y. Patil University in Navi Mumbai, Dr. R. Goyal. He's somebody who's got over 27 plus years of experience, having worked with major organizations like L&T, Tata Economic Consultancy Services, where he was also the head in Siemens for the switchgear division and involved in strategic planning at the Siemens AG in Germany as well. He's somebody, ladies and gentlemen, who has published more than 200 research papers, guided many PhD research scholars, co-authored several books on management topics. He's also held multiple awards, and truly an honor that we have the Rashtriya Vikas Ratan awardee right here amongst us. So let's give Dr. R. Gopal a big round of applause. Thank you so much. And just in interest of the conversation, may we request everyone to please keep silent. Apologies. There are some really, I personally love educationists, so just in interest, it's okay when you talk, if I'm talking, but when they talk, I would want everyone to hear. So with that, over to you to take it forward.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Narendra ji, for giving me this beautiful opportunity to come here. When Narendra ji called me up and said, Gopal, I want you here, I was a little bit surprised. I didn't expect to be called for this session. But life was different. Today's topic is essentially on AI in education, growth and transformation. The starting point for all of this is essentially the NEP, or the National Education Program 2020. It emphasizes the transformative role of technology in education, highlighting India's strength in digital transformation. And this is very, very important. Because as things are moving today, technology is moving forward in such a manner, and digital transformation, the core of which is in AI, is the key to success. The Union Budget 25-26 marks a very strategic move in reinforcing India's commitment to lead the global AI landscape. And additionally, let me also mention, I think it's Adani and Google who have joined hands together to create some huge investment in India. And that means, and this is specifically directed towards AI applications and AI research. That means we basically require a large number of AI students from different colleges and different universities to really come up and put it up, because the basis of all application that we are talking about, whether it is in finance or marketing, the root is always the student community. And if the student community is not there, I think nobody can develop it. So because ultimately, all of us are students, and all of us go back to our roots to develop things. With this, I want to get into the strategic importance of AI and how AI really is going to transform education, how AI is going to really help in applications. And the first question goes to Dr. Lakshmi Mohan, please. Yeah. How could AI reshape higher education, vocational skilling? And this is very important because everybody talks in terms of higher education growth, in terms of vocational skilling. And therefore, if we have AI, then how does it really come into picture? Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Gopal. I think that I can see a sea of change in the past couple of years, where we are all grappling to bring about the change within our institutions. across higher education. There is a change now in the way we do our admissions, our placements, our academics, our administrative work. So there is a drastic dynamic change that's come into educational institutions. And yeah, it's just the beginning, unlike the Western world where I think it's gone quite ahead, but then we are all trying to look at how we could use it in the best possible way. So 3 years back, in fact, we came up with a platform called Lisa. Learning is simply awesome. And in fact, many of the corporates also use this particular platform as a learning management system. For us, this platform came as a boon, wherein we could actually create predictive analytics. We brought in, 24/7 tutoring for students. The assessments were more robust. So in all ways, right from, academics, that is the learning of the student changed. It was not a teacher who was, in a classroom in a specific period taking the class. It was beyond that, where you could actually ask the AI your questions, your doubts, and AI had also this predictive manner of understanding the capability of the student and accordingly, tutoring the student. So a lot of things changed for higher education. In fact, to an extent where people started ridiculing teachers and asking, is your existence really important now? Right? But then, I always hear this joke, 4G ho, 5G ho, 6G ho, but Guruji zarur rahenge educational institutions mein. So I think we teachers will always have that importance in educational institutions because we bring in emotional intelligence, which AI cannot. And also the CS part, right? I was wondering what is CS when he asked what is the full form of CS. And I was looking at computer science hoga kya aur kya hoga. But then, common sense, right? And only we have that. So I think for all of us as educational institutions, a lot of change has come in. In fact, today I have, through the Lisa platform, an artificial intelligence attached to this particular platform, which actually enables mock interviews for students. So the moment a company announces that, they are going to be coming over to campus to recruit, I have the artificial intelligence ready to interview the students. So right from interviewing them to giving them a feedback on, how they could do better, and also telling them where do they stand amongst those thousands or lakhs of students. Okay, that kind of a feedback is what a teacher will not be able to give, but AI is able to give, because it collects data from various fronts and it's able to give that substantial feedback to the student. But are students even ready for that? Where a student feels today that he knows everything because, Gen Z is with Gen AI, right? So that Gen AI has given them overconfidence, thinking that, "Mujhe ye sab zarurat nahi hai, I know everything." So even to make a student learn in today's times is a challenge, right? Though you may have all the AI tools to support them, but how prepared are these students to properly use those AI tools? It's a big question that we are all grappling in higher education.
Good. I think you answered this very substantially, and I fully agree with you when you say, are the students ready for the use of AI? Because that is one of the biggest challenges that we face in the higher education field. The student feels that he knows everything, and ultimately makes a mess when he goes to the interviewing panel. My next question goes to Arunima Singh, and it's more related to health and this. So my question to you is, what is the role of health tech and medtech in enhancing Indian healthcare ecosystem?
Sure, thank you so much. And I think I'm privileged to be here in front of all of you, and especially to you, sir, for giving me this opportunity. Before coming to the question, Gopal sir, I would want to just set the context. I've been an advertising and media professional, and I have managed various verticals, including BFSI, including health tech, but edutech, and now medtech. Why I'm saying medtech? Because I have been young for last 5 decades. Now I'm entering into the 6th decade of my life, and now I've decided to devote my life till the time I work into health and wellness space. Hence, health tech, edutech, and the technology which enables these two industries is something very close to my heart. Now, coming to your question, sir, we've seen a surge in last 10 years when, edtech, health tech has boomed, right? And the entire attribution of this boom is I would say largely happened around COVID times when, medical representatives were struggling to reach out to the doctors. Patients were struggling to reach out to the doctors. Hence, various players, startups, came up and they deployed many platforms wherein, telemedicine, I would say teleconsultation, I would also say e-pharmacy. The entire last mile delivery happened through digital platforms. I'm sure you would have heard of and you would have used also digital platforms like Tata One, MG, PharmEasy, NetMed, Apollo. In fact, there are many more which has come up. This medtech industry has changed the entire healthcare landscape. It is moving towards progress day by day. Imagine, the outreach of these doctors now to tier 2, tier 3, underserved cities. It's just, on the fingertip, right? They log on to the platform. Internet has facilitated all of these. They all are internet savvy. They all carry smartphones. So logging onto these platforms is easy. They can reach out to these healthcare professionals. They can do consultations. They can take care of the health, right? So the penetration of these, health tech startups, I would say, is been very great. There are AI diagnostic apps. I'm sure all of you would be using those health trackers, apps like Cure AI, and there are many more who's largely concentrating on one particular category of ailment. Cure AI is largely concentrating towards oncology. It is so efficient that, you can put in your reports, you can be tracked, there would be consultation happening online. So these are the benefits which health tech has brought to the end users, right? One more thing I would want to say is, all of these have contributed towards accessibility, affordability, and, quality of care, ease of care, right? So I would say that these health tech and ed tech startups, they are bringing about a lot of reform in Indian scenario. And I think many more should be coming forward because we have, billions of people who are in need and dearth of healthcare, right? So I think it's a good start and it's progressing.
Thank you, Arunima. I'm reminded of what Pichai once said in one of these conferences. He says, using AI, he is just able to look at the eye of a person and diagnose what type of disease is there, and he's able to predict what will happen. That is something which is mind-boggling. The second important thing which is very important in this health tech is because today you try to call a general physician or you try to call any doctor home, it doesn't come. He says, please come to the hospital. Right. And I think today the government of India has put up a plan, it has come up with I don't remember the exact name, where you can just dial up the and that guy will be able to tell you what exactly and how to go about. So I think this is a very, very good thing that has happened, and thank you for opening my eye in many areas.
Thank you.
Anurag, you being from the Ion Exchange, which is one of the leading corporates, yeah? And there's always a feeling which we have that there is a gap between corporates and industry and academia. The academia keeps on blaming the corporates don't work, they don't help us, and the corporates keep on blaming that the academia don't know anything. And therefore my question to you is, how do you think you can really help in supporting AI-driven innovations and entrepreneurship?
Thank you, sir. Hello. Mic is working. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Dr. Narendra, and thank you for giving me this opportunity. So I represent Ion Exchange, which is a 60-year-old water treatment company, and we have in-house lot of innovations we have done into water, chemistry, life sciences, environment. We have lot of R&D and doctors with us. So I would like to start with an opening remark like AI innovation or AI into academia can only be possible if corporates start observing it and actually start working on it in a form of a collaboration, early collaboration with form of funding, with form of mentorship and the scalability. So for example, in engineering we do 6 months internship just in the 4th year. If that collaboration can be done in the early first year, second years, in some shorter way, and where students can actually learn rather than they are learning only that theoretical part, if they can also start learning the actual what's happening in the corporate, what's happening in R&D sectors, what's happening in the manufacturing sector, how AI is using in all the sectors, not only into digital or healthcare or pharma. So that collaboration in terms of funding, mentorship, scalability, and the healthy collaboration where corporates can fund something and academia should also give some hand to do some kind of resources to dedicated resources to enhance that collaboration. That can really work well if corporates and academias both come together as a handshake.
It basically means that both of us must learn to trust each other.
Yeah.
Yeah? And that trust is missing between both of us. Yeah?
No, it's not completely missing, it's increasing, but the scalability is still very less.
Okay. Lakshmi, one small question to you. Implementing AI in any university is one of the biggest challenges that we face, okay? So, what are the challenges that you face and how do you overcome that?
I think a major challenge is faculty training, because we are all used to a certain system and a certain way of functioning. So to change that mindset so most important for all higher education institution is create that kind of training and capability and in the institution, create that competency in each of your faculty members. So that is one challenge. Second is, if you look at AI, there is an algorithm bias, right? And all that comes out of AI is cannot be always considered as true. So it's also important to use your own human brain and kind of understand what has come out of AI and then accordingly put it in shape, which again is a challenge, because if you blindly depend on AI, then it could backfire. Thirdly, what I feel is talking about AI, we are also kind of breaching on data privacy. A lot of data related to students, their academics, their own private personal data, everything comes into the fore. And I think keeping ethics in mind And using that data in the right manner is again very important and crucial for higher educational institutions. Reliance on AI. So we are talking so much on AI. We are doing an educational conclave on AI. We are talking AI day in, day out. What are we telling our students, right? We are telling them that AI is very, very important. So that over-reliance on AI is scary. Because sometimes you even get applications where the student has just copied from ChatGPT and sent it to you. Forget about students. There are employees who are doing that, right? That's an over-reliance on AI where you feel that artificial intelligence is more powerful than human intelligence, more powerful than your own self. That self-belief is somewhere lost, and the students start looking at what they can get out of a Gemini or out of ChatGPT. For faculty members, it has become a challenge to give students assignments. Because if I'm going to give an assignment, the assignment is going to come straight from ChatGPT. So I'm unsure whether he has understood what is being taught, because the reflection is from ChatGPT, not from self, right? So how do we really, change that? And then, of course, what I did is, I started telling the students, give me handwritten assignments. I only take handwritten assignments. So I said, write yourself. But strangely, AI can also give you handwritten assignments. So what do we do, right? So it is challenging. And if the students do not have the common sense to understand how to use AI ethically and properly, it's going to be devastating. That's what I see in future. AI is here to stay. It's not just the future, but it's here to stay for long, right? But we, I think, need to make our students strong. And that is why at ITM Skills University, we use the leadership lab, we use lifestyle management. They're all not AI, right? But they make the students delve deeper into their own self, thus creating a confident you, and not a confident AI. So I think that's something higher educational institutions need to do, because AI is trying to become more powerful. It is important to tell our students, no, you are powerful. AI is only an enabler. It's only going to support you in what you want to do. But don't think AI is your master. I think that's the challenge I see in higher education, sir.
In fact, what I do when I was there in the university was, I used to always ask the students to give me a Turnitin report. A Turnitin report is a report which tells you what is the similarity between what is already published and what you've written. And this is there even for AI. So when the Turnitin report says its similarity index is more than 10% or 15%, then the whole report is rejected. And when it says AI is more than 3 or 4, that means you've copied everything from AI and given it. That's one method, but our students' brains sometimes work better than even AI, okay?
So there is one more challenge here that I see, which is cost.
Oh, yeah.
A Turnitin is very costly. And so many of these AI tools, if you have to get their licenses, if you have to make your campus very robust with technology and artificial intelligence, there is cost involved. Not all educational institutions can afford it, right? So that is another major challenge that many institutions are facing.
Can I just add one point here? I so agree with you. But I feel that, in order to give a proper prompt also is very important, right? It requires a lot of mental strength, to understand the business problem and give the right prompt. So I think even if there are chat GPTs of the world or Midjourneys or, Jaspers of the world, but if you're not able to understand the business problem and give the right prompt to these artificial intelligence tool, then you will not get the right solution. So understanding and giving the right prompt is also very crucial.
Anurag, one question to you, please. Yeah. One of the things which is bothering me is, when you start talking in terms of making India a leader in AI, because lots of government people, lots of educationalists, and everybody who comes to India keep saying that India is well good, it's very good in software, this, that, etc. And there's a counter view also which says that, you know, we are not very strong in AI and all that, okay. How do you make India really a big leader in AI technology? What policy changes are really required? This is something which is really burning and calling for a...
Yeah, so actually, in recent 1 or 2 years, even education policy has also integrated with AI, but it is at very initial stage, and again here it also plays a very big role by the corporates, who can also help us in formulating new education policy, where they can also support government with some kind of funds and resources, because we have an edutech industry which is also part of corporate, and that sector can really help with colleges and universities or schools, and they can help in the building a strong framework which can scalable that AI level in India, in either in the educational or edutech sector or in the corporate sector, and means actually in India lots of things are doing in bits and pieces in AI, and wherever large corporate sectors or MNC players or leading edutech players are actually focusing, emphasizing and spending a lot on AI. But in the rural areas or in the school level or in the startups like small MSME players or small companies, so there is still a lot of gap, and in India the players of small size companies or schools or rural, that plays a very big role as far as population is concerned, as far as economy is concerned. So that's why that scalability can come if these three leading sectors can come together and break that barrier.
I really hope it works here. I'm really skeptical about all of this. But I do wish that if we have to become really a leader in AI, because that's the one which is coming up in big way. I mean, look at China, the way it has grown and where it has gone. I mean, it's tremendous. Arunima, we always talk, everybody talks in terms of global, and then they talk in India and this and that and all this. The basic thing which is always bugging me is how does the AI strategy for healthcare education, because you are specializing in healthcare and therefore I want to focus on healthcare. And I know very well that healthcare is something where the government does not spend enough money, and there's miles to go before we can become a developed country in healthcare. So how does the AI strategy for healthcare education, because the root cause is healthcare education, how does the strategy for healthcare education compare with the global leaders like the US or other countries?
Sure. So if I were to just kind of summarize this into one sentence, we have to learn from our global market, definitely, and imbibe best practices from there. They are more robust, they are more evolved than Indian healthcare market, for sure. If you talk about US, UK, Singapore, they are robust, they are process-oriented, they have their regulatory framework, they are compliance-led. This industry is a regulated industry. Anything and everything has to be checked by regulatory authorities. You have to be FDI compliant, you have to be NIH compliant, different global markets have different compliance frameworks to follow. India definitely is reaching there, and there is a lot of potential, and not only the healthcare industry, but colleges, institutions, and corporates, policymakers are trying to invest money, resources into gearing up to meet those standards of healthcare, which is globally appreciated. So we are getting there, right? So I wouldn't say that we are evolved to an extent which an US or a UK market or a Singapore market is, but yes, we are no lesser, I would say. If you've heard of Niti Aayog, I'm sure all of you would have heard of Niti Aayog, then Ayushman Bharat Digital Mission, Digital India, AI for Bharat. These are the 4 platforms which are putting lot of efforts, resources into educating healthcare professionals, educating policymakers, hospitals, government agencies, which would gear towards making India and primarily healthcare a more robust technology data-driven industry. So I think we are trying to reach there, Gopals.
Anurag, one question to you. How do you see AI driving digital transformation and market growth across the corporate sector?
Yeah, so in last 5 years, means large corporates or large multi-leading MNCs are focusing on 3 parts. One is data strategy. So earlier data centers were completely missing in India. In last 3 to 5 years, government and private industries have spent and focused lot of on data centers. Second thing is hyper personalization or the automation part, which is taking place and which is actually giving direction to management for the growth sector. And third part is the content marketing by using omni-channels, algorithms, algorithm-based marketing campaigns, which is giving precise results, either doing vague campaigns. So data, content, data hyper personalization based content, and automation and the algorithm-based campaigns. So these 3 are the growth drivers, which is giving directions either in the boardrooms or in the fields or the startups or the incubators. And actually a lot of new resources are coming up into these 3 sectors in all leading companies. And government is also focusing with lot of foreign collaborations who can countries can help India with the mutual resource collaboration to focus on. And we all can see this happening in the economy, how we are growing, how we are getting lot of new MNCs coming up in India in every sector. Even if you visit any trade show in India 5 years back and today, you can see lot of new European American players come up, which we don't heard the name 5 years back. So that's the result of that growth strategy, which is AI or digital transformation is driving.
And that's the basis why we require a good partnership between industry and academia.
Yeah.
Arunima, one question which has been bugging me for quite some time, because what's happening is 1 minute. Because what's happening is what's happening is the women force is increasing rapidly in this country. Yeah. And yet the women are always put down at all points of time, and then for them healthcare becomes, or health of the women is the last priority. Priority number 1 is always the family, and then the career, and then the self-help. How do you think AI can really help you out in this?
So it's a great question and very close to my heart. When it comes to women leadership, I'm always standing for women and their empowerment. And currently I'm representing Voices for Victory, which is a AI-driven women health and wellness platform. Do visit that platform. Yeah, I think all of you would be relating to this. We as a woman, it's not about time, it's our conditioning. We are told everybody else is first and then you are the last, right? So we carry that burden on our shoulders, and we see that our parents are well taken care of, husband is taking off, in-laws, children, and then we do not focus on ourselves. For me, what I would say is, if we are not happy, if we are not healthy, how do we keep others healthy, right? I'm sure all of you would be resonating with it. So there are so many, health care, data-driven AI apps which has come up, right? And many HRs are imbibing this in their corporate wellness program for women, and Voices for Victory is one of them. So what we do here is, and there are many other healthcare apps also, which is like your Fitter, Healthify. Then there are mental wellness apps also. You Google and you'll get so many. At Voices for Victory, what we do is, we run a 45-day wellness program for women employees. There are a set of questions which are asked and basis that, and a report gets generated, and then your diagnosis or whatever, the counselor would assist you that you are having so and so, and then your health packages are there. And it's a gamified 45-day program, which is not mundane for women employees. Along with your work, there will be constant prompts on your WhatsApp or app, which will tell you, hey, get up, now it's time for you to enjoy. You need to have a cup of green tea, you deserve it, right? It is your lunch time, it is your break time. Everything in the world will happen if you are healthy, if you are productive. So your leadership, your creativity is in your hands, right? And we all women will really have to look after ourselves. Yes, sir. I think there's a question.
Volume on my mic? Of course you can, since you've already gotten up.
If you want, I can sit down. It takes lesser time for me to sit down than to speak.
No, please go ahead. I just didn't want her flow to be interrupted. Ma'am, would you like to just conclude?
I said enough that I think I concluded that we are the chargers of our health, and we have to take care of ourselves because we are the nurturers and everybody is dependent on us, right? So let's be healthy, all we women, right?
Sure. Thank you, Arunima. Yes, now please continue.
Thank you. Something that I wanted to add to what you were saying is the emergence of agentic organizations, especially the conversational platforms where you can create your agents on the go, is helping individual women. I'm working with Aspire for Her and multiple such organizations where SMBs run by women, solopreneurs who are women, because that is primarily a gap, especially women take a break after childbirth and it creates a big dissonance in their career and they fail to get back. But today with agentic organizations emerging, what is happening is sales or marketing, operations or finance, I'm not an expert in everything but my AI agent is. So वो मेरे लिए पूरा organization run कर रहा है. Recently, there's this organization that got sold for $80 million, one man. By the way, that man could be replaced by a woman. So one person, $80 million in 12 months. That's the potential that AI brings to our doorstep. We're not dependent on knowledge-based experts anymore.
Thank you. I think you were just complimenting what I said, right? Thank you so much for that.
Thank you, Lakshmi. Thank you, Arunima. Thank you, Anurag. I think it was a well-driven session. I learned a lot today, and I'm really grateful to all of you all for, thank you very much. And I hope, please look at it. Look at what Arunima said. Women are the backbone. Women are the main things. Their health is very important. So please take care of that. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
God bless all of you.
And Arunima, we wish like how you have the notification wherein it says it's time now to take a break and it's time for green tea. We wish that could have been integrated with the event because it is now time actually. We're going to be taking a break for the same. And ladies and gentlemen, what a noble thought from all our leaders. Let's continue giving them a big, big round of applause. Thank you so much to all our educationists for joining us. Dr. Narendra, from the tail end, you have to do a red carpet walk and come in towards the stage. Of course, the man behind N-Cube collaboration, like I said, he only gets younger with every event. Only his hair doesn't justify, but everything else is great. All right. With that, may we request Dr. Narendra to please give a token of appreciation to all our leaders. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you to all our educationists for joining us on the front, and thank you for inspiring us on that note. Well, with this, we conclude with the Day 2 of the AI Conclave 2025. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, much more momentum in the room. And as we celebrate each other's victory, we'd like to part on the ways of just getting inspired. And the theme, we'd like to resonate it once again: lead, learn, and celebrate. So the celebration is going to be happening on the other side. But whilst as we do that, we know that you might need a refreshing break whilst as we get ready for the celebration. So sharp at 7:30, ladies and gentlemen, as per schedule, we're going to be starting with the AI Excellence Awards 2025. Whilst as we'd like to thank all our leaders on stage, thank you so much. And may I conclude the AI Conclave 2025 on behalf of N-Cube Collaborations. Yes, Mr. N.P. Shetty, of course, from Rupee Boss, one of the pioneers of our industry, is right here. Thank you, Mr. Shetty, for gracing us on that occasion. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, let's break in for a short break. 7:30 as per schedule, we get back with the awards. So this is all happening right here in Mumbai. Let's resume back at 7:30. Feel free to network with one another and join us for the celebrations on the other side. Thank you so much. You've been a kind audience. Bring in that energy once you come back for the awards. Thank you.